The first episode of the Wave Crypto Investing series. We'll tell you literally what is the first requirement that you need to become rich with cryptos. Let's get straight to it. If you had an option to invest in two assets, asset 1 and asset 2, you could have invested $1,000 in both of them at 2013. By 2021, asset 1 would have given you close to $1,300. Asset 2 would have given you well over $4.6 million. Which one would you invest looking back? Obviously in asset 2, right? Let's take the mask off. Let's see what they are. Asset 1 is gold, asset 2 is Bitcoin. If you had invested the same amount in Bitcoin as compared to gold by 2021, you would have made more than 3,600 times the amount that you would have made had you invested in gold. Then why do people run in the opposite direction the moment they hear gold? People think the moment they hear Bitcoin, people think it's a scam, people think it's a Ponzi scheme and whatnot. This is the reason. If you look at just the last 1 year's price variation, when you look at gold and Bitcoin, if probably you put in $1,000 in gold, the yellow line would show you that it might go down to 950, it might go up to 1050, but it's somewhere close to where you invested. If you put the same money in Bitcoin, then maybe your $1,000 became $500. This happened to me, by the way. If this happens where your money is going in extremes, it could become 1/10 of what you invested, it could become 100 times of what you invested. People are scared, people are not sure of whether to invest in this or not. And this is the risk that people think is inherently there in Bitcoin, and hence people continue to invest in safer assets like gold. Let's look at the spectrum. If you look at from the left side where you have low risk but low return kind of assets, to the right side where you have high risk and high returns, what do you see? Your savings account, your term deposits, your government bonds, all of them are giving you probably single digits, maybe in the low single digit kind of returns, but you're sure that you will absolutely get that money whatever they have promised you. Hence they are low risk. If you move towards, let's say, large equities, large companies that are listed on the stock market, you might have a slightly higher risk compared to a savings account, but you also will get a slightly higher return. And this keeps going on. In fact, Bitcoin is probably not the highest risk ones. There are altcoins which have a higher risk than Bitcoin, but the altcoins also give you a higher returns compared to Bitcoin. So your spectrum of investing is somewhere from the left side of low risk and low return to the high risk and high returns, and this is the reason why people probably try and sit towards the left where there are savings accounts and term deposits, because they are considered safer. Bitcoin investing or any crypto investing is very different from your stock market investing. Let's look at how the life of a company is. Right? A company starts with probably from the funding of the startup owner itself, might get some angel funds, might get some seed capital, then it might raise a Series A, Series B, might raise some later stage venture capital funding, and then it finally might raise some fundings in the IPO and then onto the public market. And if you see this line here, that curve shows you the kind of returns that you might possibly get. Right? The earlier you are in the company as an investor, the higher your returns are more likely to be. If you had invested in the very first stage of the company's fundraising cycle, by the time the company gets to the IPO, you might make 1,000x of your money. And the same goes if you invest towards the IPO stage, you might get only 10% or 15% returns in a 1 or 2 year period. Crypto investing is something very similar to investing in early stage startups. Bitcoin is probably in like, let's say, a venture, Series A venture capital funding. The other altcoins are more like seed capital that you're putting in, and hence to invest in cryptocurrencies, your first step should be to change your mindset from investing like what Warren Buffett does to investing like how Mark Cuban does. You need to start thinking like a shark. You need to start thinking how you can make more money by also taking more risk. Your mindset should totally shift towards it, and only then will you be able to get into the crypto game and be able to be sane and not panic sell and end up with losses. For more great altcoins or cryptocurrencies that we have researched and put together for you, visit wave33.club. Stay tuned for more episodes.